When the Bible says that the race is not to the swift or the battle to the mighty, I've seen that actually play out in my life, and this is why I said so. It took me 4 years to actually get admission to school. Yeah, 4 good years. I finished secondary school, which is college, year 2015/2016, and for 2015 to 2016 I did not get admission. I wrote about, I think, 3 or 4 jams and nothing still. And it's not because I was failing my jam. No, it was nothing like that. I was not just getting admission, and I did not know why. I remember after I wrote the first jam, and then I wrote the second jam, and I started doubting my fate, because when I was writing the second one, I was like, okay, probably the first one is a mistake, because there's something my mom always say if it happens to you the first time, it's an accident. It happens to you second time, maybe coincidence, but you see the third time, no way. So it happened the first time, I was like, okay, maybe it's an accident. Second time, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, no, things don't happen to me like that. And if you know that you have been an OG on this channel, you know that one of the things I always say is that I can pray for everything and anything. And so before I went for the second jam, I had to go to God in prayer. I was like, oh, what's going on? I've written the first one. It's not your will that I will be stranded and be in this spot. What is exactly going on? I remember vividly then the Holy Spirit told me that I need you to learn some things before you get into school. And I'm like, learn what? Like, it's already 1 year past. Learn what? And in 3 different occasions, on the same spot, which is my bed, I heard that word. I need you to learn some few things before you get into school. It did not exactly make sense, but I guess he had a reason for that. So after hearing those things, like those 3 different occasions, I was a bit at peace. It was during that period that I went to learn makeup. I advanced in my skill because I already knew how to make hair. It was just a natural gift how to make hair, and I advanced in it, and I also advanced in makeup. When I got into school, believe me when I say I saw the reasons why the Holy Spirit told me I need you to learn some things before you get into school. Because my darlings, if I were to be that kind of person that always get pressured by things, I would have been pressured. And if I were the one that always get carried away, I don't know what my story would have been today. Did not know was that period that I was home, that the Holy Spirit was actually preparing me spiritually, physically, mentally, and all around. All I can say is that God saw me through. Even when I finally got the admission, I almost lost it because they started saying some funny things that I couldn't explain. Because even me, I was surprised they were saying all those things, because I made sure my forms and everything was accurate, and I'm wondering where all those problems were coming from, but God still showed up. Would you even believe that the one that actually clicked, the jam that actually clicked, that made me get this admission, I got that jam form from a local government chairman that was about to run for a particular post that period and was giving out free jam form. That's how I got that jam form, and that's how I got into school. Not because my parents could not afford jam form, they could afford it, but somebody that we knew that was already into politics, she told my mom about it. She was like, oh, one of your daughters should come and take form, and that's how it went through. The way God did everything, I'm still stunned till today. Even when I finally got into school, I remember that period I struggled a whole lot. The very few things I actually struggled with was mindset. I felt like I was more mature at mind and at heart than some of my classmates. Yes, I knew that I was actually mature in age, because when I was in school, I was about 20 plus, and I was already matured in age than some of them. So I felt like, oh my God, how am I going to cope? And also I was matured at heart and at mind, because there's some conversations we were having then, the kind of answers they gave and the kind of answers I gave, there was a huge gap in between. In fact, the thing I did not also know is that the Holy Spirit was preparing me ahead for the spiritual things that I was going to face. You see, when I was about to go to school, there was one advice actually one of my neighbor gave me. She's actually a church member and my neighbor at the same time. One of the things she told me is that you will pray like you don't study, and you will study like you don't pray. I really did not understand that term that she made till I got into school. I saw things, man. I saw things that my mouth could not tell it all. I saw things that naturally, if people say, it sounds like a lie. God opened my eyes, and the things I saw, The things I personally encountered were so many. I can't even begin to tell them all. I can't tell them all at all. I remember, as at, just to share a few, my first year when I got into school, I was staying with somebody because then I was just new into the environment, and although that's my state, but most of my people were mostly in Lagos here. So I was new to the environment. I had to stay with somebody. The person I was staying with, they were sleeping, everybody could sleep normally. I couldn't sleep because the kind of things I was seeing in my dreams, the kind of revelations that I was seeing in my dreams, Holy Spirit, there were days that I would have to pray I could almost see all through the night. It was really a battle. Or is it the period when it got to a time that I felt like every single week we always heard of people dying in school? And this is me being sincere with you. Every single week it felt like people were always dying. It got to a point that I, for one, I got scared. And I went to God in prayer. I'm like, even if these people were sinners, and that yes, that the wages of sin is death, it is your will that those sinners will be brought to you. Will the devil now be winning, and then the children of God? Why then are we sent on earth? Because one of our main assignments is the assignment of reconciliation, whereby we bring lost souls back to God. So what are you now saying? So I went to God in prayers that period, and after that he ceased. Then another set of things that it was encounters after encounters. It is when I tell you that the race is not for the swift or the mighty. I know what I'm saying, my darling, because the things that my eyes saw. I remember one time a friend of mine, she's a Christian just like me, we were talking about stuff like this, and we were talking, and then I was sharing a few of the encounters I've had, and it got to a point I was like, calm down, I'm not trying to scare you. She was like, she's already scared. And I'm like, okay, if you're scared, then how about me that saw all these things? But this is me now, already done with school, and I am pretty much, yes, just like you can see in this video, I am going back to school to finish things off for my service. And I can't believe how God has taken me so far. Like, God has been so faithful. I finished with ease, although so many obstacles came. God saw me through. And yes, I took night bus. I actually prefer night bus. I know people always say, oh, it's scary, it's not safe, I believe that it is God that protects, and God will protect me. So while on the night bus, I watched this movie. I watched it all over again. I've watched it before. Achalugo, I'm going to marry you. Odogu, please. This movie was one good one. Honestly, I wish they could actually do a part 2 to the movie, or should I rather say a season 2 to the movie. I would be the first to watch. And yeah, this is us on the journey. I was pretty much tired here. I was actually tired. I don't know. I was sleeping and waking. Now finally we are in Enugu, almost close to the park. After that, I got down, got a keke that took me straight to my new lodge, because I and my brother, we stay in the same school. Yes, we school in the same school. Do you hear what I just said? We school in the same school. Don't mind me just saying. So he got a new lodge, so we're living in a new lodge now. So I was just heading there, and yeah, this is Enugu. I do not know why I actually really have this prompt, and it felt like actually sharing the story of how school was and how it took me this thing. But just in case you are a young person watching this video of mine right now, I am wondering, oh God, the admission, just know that God's time is the best. And even when you finally got the admission, that the battle is not yet over, because just like the advice they gave me, I'm giving you too. You will pray like you are not studying, and you will study like you are not praying, because life is spiritual, more spiritual than physical. And that's pretty much it, guys. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching. It says pure welcome back to Enugu. Yeah, I'm telling myself welcome back to Enugu.
abacha.